Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and it's no surprise that I absolutely love limited formats. Okay, I lied, I really don't like draft, but the other limited format is sealed, which is basically pre-release. You know, you get a sealed pack. Now, there are different versions of sealed, I should probably mention that real quick. At the pre-release, you get 6 boosters plus 1 guaranteed rare mythic foil, and, you just build a 40-card deck out of that. Now, any other time, since, come on, it's only 4 times a year, you can do pseudo pre-release where you just get 6 boosters and just ignore the bonus rare and build something out of that. Or you can do the Fat Pack Challenge, which is where you do the exact same thing but with a Fat Pack, which is, of course, 9 boosters, and then you've got the lands right there. So, very popular, very expensive, but very popular. Then on top of that, there's an even crazier one where you just take a brick of 100 cards, usually 100% commons because it's like $3, and then you build a deck out of that. That's actually pretty fun, and I've seen people do like 80-20 ratios with commons to uncommons, but usually you just forego the rares completely. It is dirt cheap, and it's twice as funny. Plus, a lot of the OP as balls unfair cards are definitely rare or mythic. So it's kind of seen as more of a level playing field, like more of a fair format than actual pre-release. Because honestly, Eldritch Moon pre-release, I dominated because I pulled Gisela. If I got out Gisela in a match, I won. If I didn't, I lost. Simple as that. That is exactly what happened. Now, even in draft, the number one complaint that I've heard from the pros, and boy do they complain a lot, so number one is really saying something. They have said they don't like mythics, like overpowered mythics, because they're so unlikely to show up and they're so overpowered typically that one person draws one and they have like a 50% advantage of winning overall. It just quite literally by definition is not fair. It's complete luck, no skill. But then again, you've got to say, well, Magic the Gathering, what card are you going to draw next is complete luck, no skill. But still, it really feels unfair. So you take out the mythics and the rares, and there you go, perfectly good format. But that's not the awesome format I'm here to talk about today. It totally was worth mentioning and not worth making its own video though, but those are different types of limited in case you're bored and cheap and want to play something weird. But if you want to play something really weird, well, we're going back to draft. And a lot of people like drafting because, well, it's about half the price. If you're going to buy 6 boosters and go pseudo-sealed, draft only uses 3. So just by default, it's half the price. Well, personally, I don't like draft because I'm not good at it, but I'd say I'm better than the average person at least, but I'm not nearly as good as constructed. But when I do draft, there's one format I prefer and you may not have heard about it. I'm of course talking about Chaos Draft. And all you Sonic fans out there are like, oh, that's just drafting after you got all 7 Chaos Emeralds. Nope, it's a little different. What Chaos Draft is you take as many different boosters as you can possibly allow as an option, which is why this is definitely the favorite of shopkeepers, and then you randomly select them. So if you play in some kind of online format, it's pretty easy to just randomly generate a booster, and you can even do it, I think, within certain constraints, like, oh, just do modern. Or you can do standard. I think there's standard Chaos Draft, which is any set that's currently in standard, but you randomly pick the boosters. Now, people are going to get their undies in a bundle over this, but there are 2 different ways to do this because, no, it's not an official format. But you can either do random for each person or random for the whole group. So you have like 8 people doing the draft, we'll say. Does everybody get 1 Theros, 1 M15, and 1 Kaladesh? Or does everybody get theirs randomized? So the guy next to you might be running 2 Eldritch Moon and 1, Born of the Gods. So whatever you want to do is up to you. The more fair way is to give everybody the same pool, obviously, because some sets are just more powerful than others. But if you're wondering, well, if you're not using a computer, how do you come up with the packs randomly? Well, it's pretty simple. Just use whatever multi-sided die. If you're like, what do you mean multi-sided die? I only use 6-sided dice like a normal person. Just hit up one of your friends who plays D&D. We've got some weird-sided dice. It would be nice if it was an even number, but yeah, they make D20s, D12s, D10s, D8s, 6s, 4s, and then you could do math from there on. So usually the typical way is you just walk into your store and say, hey, let's do Chaos Draft, woo! Then all you have to do is just take the boxes that are lined up all in a nice row, which they typically are, or just number them while they're on the wall in a glass case, however they do it. Usually it's going all the way back to like M13 or something if it's a bigger store. Just say, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boom. Or 20. Going back to M13, that's a lot of sets. So then you roll a die again, roll a die again. Those are your 3 boosters that you use. Now you're probably thinking, okay, so it would be some weak deck with absolutely no synergy whatsoever. I mean, the mechanics don't even go together. Well, that's the fun part. Sometimes they do, and it's just outrageously unexpected. It is so funny when somebody pulls like one devotion card and then just dominates with it because they went monocolored. Keep in mind that a lot of mechanics are actually pretty universal. If you get stuck with one Kaladesh booster, hey, vehicles, they can be crewed by anything. Now, if it's energy, okay, you're in trouble. That doesn't mesh with anything but itself. But if you had, Flicker, okay, that's ETB, no problem. And then, a Flip Werewolf, great, it flips itself, whatever. Well, and then there's, Lifelink, Double Strike, Trample, all the traditional combat abilities. All of those go together. So you end up with some weird deck and hopefully not like Boost Infect or something horribly unfair, but you just never know. You might get like an Undying Suicide Death Touch deck or something just absolutely stupidly weird. And I love stupidly weird. Now, there's one more thing about this format, being, completely useless and mixing stuff together that doesn't go together. Well, hello, modern decks, I mean, that's what they do. But besides that, it's draft. You're actually picking the cards. It makes it harder to get, like, a theme going. Like, I'm going to go for this because you have no idea what's coming around your way. Worse yet, you're, at least a third of the way away from the next pack, and then the third pack is even later. So you really don't know what's going to be coming around. But you can just choose the strongest, creatures, strongest mechanics, most universal mechanics, which would be smart, and then go from there. People come up with some weird crap. And the games are just a riot. I would not do this professionally, at a highly competitive level. It's very casual, but it's just so fun. If you want to try it, I do believe that X-Mage has a function to do a Chaos Draft. I've never actually done it, though. Oh, correction, I've done it once. I just didn't pay any attention at all to how it worked. I do recall it being complete chaos, though, and that is totally fun for me. So if it sounds fun to you, the best part is if you do it locally, it's, obviously way more fun, because like I said, people are there. If you're doing something really stupid, it's more fun if other people are around. Okay, that's universal, guy rules. It's kind of a guy thing. It's like, I'm going to put this together with this, and I bet I could blow up my whole backyard. I better call every guy I know. They need to witness this. But the most important part is how many people besides yourself come in asking for M14 booster packs that are sitting around. I would guess not a whole lot. And if you go up there and say, hey, we need 8 packs of M14, 8 packs of Born of the Gods, and 8 packs of Shadows, the store owner's going to be like, why? Nobody else this month has asked for those packs. They're just sitting there losing me money. Ta-da! Chaos Draft! In fact, some of the time you can get a pretty good discount because, let's be honest, those packs are not going anywhere. Plus, if you got 8 people times 3, you're buying the equivalent to 2/3 of a box anyway. They should give you a little bit of a discount. So if the format sounds fun, you should definitely get together with your friends and do it. Like I said, X-Mage Online can do it, but it's more fun in person. So check it out. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if you've done it in the past because it is a somewhat popular format and it's at least heard of by people. I'd love to hear your stories, and I will see you guys next video.
Oh, please tell me you brought me some coffee.